guys, what's going on? Welcome in. So it's week 11 and the 4-5 Jets are going to be taking on the Buffalo Bills, the 5-5 Buffalo Bills, this Sunday, 4:25, a massive game. Some would say a must win, right? And arguably it's a must win for both teams because, I mean, like, you look at it from the Bills side of it, you know, there's a chance that they could fall under 500. Like, it feels like it's been forever since the last time the Bills have been, you know, under 500 outside of like a week one, you know, where they've only played like one game. But in any case, this game is huge. It's huge for the AFC playoff picture. It's huge for the Jets to stay alive. It's huge for the locker room. It's huge for morale. It's huge for Zach Wilson and Nathaniel Hackett and Robert Saleh, and the list goes on. You know, will the veterans bounce back? The Alan Lazards of the world, the CJ Uzamas, will they even see a lot of time? There's so many questions that we have going into this game, but one thing is for sure, we have to look better. We have to look better. Like, that is not, like, that's not up for debate. If the Jets go out there and look like the same exact team that they've shown the last 3 weeks, Raiders, Chargers, Giants, there's going to be issues. And I actually wanted to wait a little bit to make this video because I really was intrigued about the injury report. You know, ideally I like to get the preview videos up midway through the week, but there was one player specifically that got banged up in the Raider game, and he is pretty much the lifeline outside of Breece Hall. He's the lifeline of the Jets offense. It's Garrett Wilson. And you know, Saleh's press conference just wrapped up 10 minutes ago here, and he did say that Garrett Wilson will be on the injury report. He is dealing with a wrist, and, you know, I'm hoping that he can play. I'm hoping that he can play, but Dwayne Brown will not be out there. Billy Turner will not be out there. A few other injuries. So, obviously, the Jets are going up to Buffalo banged up, and if we don't have Garrett Wilson, we have to get more creative. It's just a must. Like I'm tired of the excuses on why the offense is, you know, not working, why they aren't producing. They're not protecting the quarterback. They're not having a lot of success running the football, not having a lot of success throwing the football. We've all seen the drops. We've all seen the penalties. That stuff is apparent. It's crystal clear. Third down struggles, red zone struggles. It's just one thing after another. Play calls, system, one thing after another. We got to look better. And I hate to sound like a broken record here, but it's that like, my patience is running thin. The offense needs to start producing ASAP. So you look across the division, right, at the Buffalo Bills, they're 5-5. They actually just fired Ken Dorsey, you know, their offensive coordinator. I've seen a couple fans kind of, not necessarily freak out, but question it, like, whoa, at one point Ken Dorsey was one of the young up-and-coming coaches. The Bills' offense is literally top 10 in points, yards, what else? Third downs, touchdowns, red zone conversion rate. I mean, this is a pretty high-flying offense, but we all know what the two main issues are for this Bills team. Not a ton of help outside of Stephon Diggs, right? I know they have, like, names, right, like Gabe Davis and whatnot, but personally, when I watch the Buffalo Bills, it does seem like Stephon Diggs is just so much, he is the clear-cut, obviously the number one on the football team, right? One of the best receivers in football, but it's kind of Diggs and then everybody else. And Dalton Kincaid is really, you know, coming onto the scene. I loved him back at Utah. I was pretty angry when the Bills drafted him, but, you know, with Dawson Knox being hurt, you know, it's like, who's that second guy to step up? Gabe Davis, Shakir, like who is it? It just doesn't really seem like anybody is separated themselves. It's just kind of Diggs and Allen's now like playing hero ball. He's turning the football over way too much, throwing INTs, and he does struggle historically against the Jeff Ulbrich, Robert Saleh defense, which is a positive going into this game. But anyway, back to the point, the Buffalo Bills are not settling. They're 5-5. Turnovers have been an issue, and they said, hey, you know what? We're not content with what we're seeing offensively, despite the good numbers or the good team rankings. Right? We need a change. We need somebody else in charge running the show to help limit the turnovers. And not only did they just fire Dorsey, but they promoted Joe Brady, quarterback coach, now offensive coordinator. This, to me, should not be overlooked. Right? I feel like Joe Brady's obviously a young guy, first crack, calling plays in Buffalo. I think, you know, first time calling plays in Buffalo since he got fired back in Carolina. I know there's that bad taste in his mouth. You watch him in press conferences and it's like he is totally, totally excited. You know, a young guy just chomping at the bit to get going here. And also, you know, he interviewed with the Jets and didn't get the job. So maybe there's that extra added, you know, motivation there. So where, you know, like you're looking, like as a Jet fan, you're looking across and you're like, okay, this is a young guy who's just totally ready to get this offense humming, limit the turnovers, and it's against a team that basically said, no, we don't want you. I think this game, I think we could see a different Buffalo Bills approach on offense. Now it's up to Ulbrich and Saleh's defense to kind of limit that, which I have full confidence in, despite Josh Allen being so damn good. I still love our defense. The defense is not the problem with the New York Jets. The special teams is not the problem with the New York Jets. The problem, as we all know, is the offense. And I don't want to dive down the rabbit hole of all the different issues here. We all know what they struggle at. We all know where they need to get better. Third downs, red zone, like all these different problems. So I'm hoping, right? I got my fingers crossed that the Jets offense looks better. We need it to look better. Now, on one hand, again, the Jets have played Buffalo pretty good. We beat them in week 1, had some success against them last season as well. It's like, I like our chances in this game, despite us looking absolutely atrocious offensively again the last 3 weeks, 3 weeks. But I'm not looking at this game like it's some sort of automatic win or anything like that. Of course, we have to still go out and execute. And if the problems are still there, and I'm not saying you got to fix all, the Jets have to fix all their issues in 1 week against a great defense on the road, by the way. But it's like, are we taking steps in the right direction? It is week 11 here. It is week 11. The season is slipping through our fingers. At what point are the Jets going to kind of have that Bills moment where it's just like, we're done. We're not settling for media. We're not settling for turnovers. We're not settling for issues offensively. They fired Dorsey. They made a stand, essentially. You know, you can argue, was it a panic move? Potentially. But I do also look at that as kind of being trying to be ahead of the curve if you're Buffalo. I would rather part ways with a guy too early and maybe limit mistakes and see what you have in somebody else, as opposed to just continue to sink with the ship. And then you're sitting there at the end of the season saying, oh man, we should have done this. We could have done that. We really wish we would have went ahead and did this. And I feel like that's kind of, you know, microcosm of the Jets season so far, whether it's, oh, we should have brought in a backup before the season started, like a competent backup QB. Oh, we should have brought in one the day after Rodgers got hurt. Every single Jet fan said that. Every single Jet fan was waiting for that notification, just, you know, scrolling through NFL.com, waiting for the Jets to sign or trade for a veteran quarterback. It never happened for weeks until they brought in Trevor Siemian. Potentially should have traded for an asset at the trade deadline instead of just getting rid of McCall Hardman for a 2025 6th rounder. Maybe we should have added more pieces to the offensive line. So it's just one thing after another. I'm hoping for nothing but the best. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. Thanks so much for watching, and as always, go Jets.